A very good evening to all of you. So this is chapter number 3, Lean System and Innovation. There are total 4 sessions on this particular chapter, chapter number 3, Lean System and Innovation. Okay, beta, I welcome you all in today's session. Basically, this chapter number 3 is bifurcated into 2 broader categories. As the name itself indicates, it's Lean System and Innovation. Lean system is the very first topic, while innovation is altogether different topic. Although both the topic are merged in chapter number 3, but they carry different concept, they carry different meaning. Lean system is altogether different from the word innovation. Okay. Regarding the length wise, regarding the content wise, undoubtedly lean system is a broader concept which cover almost 5 concepts covered in a single topic, lean system. While the innovation covers only 2 topics and that are much smaller and they are theoretical in oriented. Whenever I say theoretical, you don't have to mug up the theory. You have to apply that theory whenever the case study or case scenario demand. As such, in our syllabus, there is no direct theoretical question except 1 or 2 concepts. Rest all are application-based question unless and until you have mastery in that particular topic regarding the language, and then you have to apply your knowledge to a particular situation. So innovation is basically non-numerical topic. It requires the thorough understanding of that theoretical topic, and then thereafter application part is required in that innovation. Okay, beta? So a diagram is given in page number 2 regarding what we have to cover in this particular chapter. So I already told you that it's the combination of 2 topics, lean system and innovation. So basically, lean system consists of the 5 topics. Through this 5 topics, any one or a combination of 2 or more, the objective of lean system is accomplished. The first topic in lean system, then the most common topic is just-in-time system, Kaizen costing or Kaizen costing. Some pronounce it as Kaizen costing. 5F, total productive maintenance, the abbreviation is TPM, and Six Sigma. Cellular manufacturing is a part of TPM itself, so Six Sigma. So basically, there are 5 major topics in this particular lean system. Through this concept, lean system achieves its objective. While in case of the second major topic is innovation, innovation covers 2 topics, process innovation and BPR, business process re-engineering. Clear it up? So these are the content. First of all, we will start from lean system, and the very first topic, we will cover what do you mean by lean system, and then focus its 5 method, how lean system will be achieved through a combination of the 5 technique that has been given in our content in chapter number 3. Okay. Dharasha, activity-based costing is a separate topic, beta. I think it will be covered in detail, undoubtedly in chapter number, I think 8 or 9. It will be covered in detail. If I'm not wrong, it's chapter number 9. Okay. In that chapter number 9, we will cover in detail, that is strategic operating income वाला जो topic है आपका, उसमें activity-based costing we will cover in detail. पलापर्थी गुड इवनिंग बेटा, धारा शाह गुड इवनिंग. चलिए तो बड़े बेटा स्टार्ट करें अपना पहला टॉपिक इस चैप्टर का, दैट इज लीन सिस्टम. प्लीज गिव द हेडिंग इन योर कॉपी. प्लीज गिव द हेडिंग इन योर कॉपी, लीन सिस्टम. Lean system. In our syllabus, strategic cost management, the objective can be of the following 2 types. The first objective can be increasing the quality of the product, increasing the quality of the product, that is the satisfaction customer are getting now. You have to increase that satisfaction. This is increasing the quality, increasing the features of the product. This can be the very First objective. Second objective of strategic cost management will be reducing the cost. And cost will be reduced by eliminating or minimizing the non-value added activity. We have already covered this topic, non-value added activity. It means the organization is spending amount on such activity, but the customer is not at all benefited by such activity. Such activities are known as non-value added activity. The objective can be bifold. The first objective can be increasing the quality of the product. The second objective can be reducing the cost by minimizing the non-value added cost. Let's see what objective this particular topic lean system is carrying, whether it is carrying the objective of increasing the quality of the product or it is carrying the objective of reducing the cost. Okay, so I'm giving you the very first line to read out on your own and tell me which objective lean system will try to cover through the FI technique, just-in system, Kaizen costing, 5S, TPM, and the last topic is Six Sigma. Okay, so this is the line through which you have to decide which objective lean system is carrying, whether it is carrying the objective of increasing the quality of the product or reducing the cost or both. Okay, I'm waiting for your answer, Vidya. Which objective lean system is carrying? Read out the highlighted point twice and then only answer me, Vidya. Okay, as per Palaparthi, it's waste minimization, that is reducing the cost. Dhara Shah have answered both. Rashmi, cost reduction on waste. Okay, beta. The only objective that this topic lean system is carrying is the objective of waste minimization. Okay, it's not carrying the objective of increasing the quality of the product. So all the technique which are available for under the topic lean system have the sole objective of reducing the waste, that is reducing the cost of the product. Okay, so please write down in your copy, beta. Write down the very first point. You have already given the heading lean system. Now write down the very first point, objective. Please write down. The only objective is to reduce the cost. The only objective is to reduce the cost by focusing on non-value added activities. By focusing on non-value added activities. Write down the second point, drop one line and give the heading second point, meaning. Please write down. Lean system, you have to copy the same language in your copy. Lean system is an organized method Lean system is an organized method for waste minimization without affecting the quality, without affecting the quality, oblique functionality, without carrying the quality, oblique functionality within a manufacturing system, within a manufacturing system. Some words are very, very important which requires discussion. Let's start those words. The first point is organized word. The first word is organized word. It is not an unplanned system. It is a planned system. You know what you are doing. You know what result you are expected to achieve. You know, in case the result are not up to the mark, what action is to be taken. So it's an organized method. Now, organized method for what? Increasing the quality of the product? No. For waste minimization. We will discuss in detail what do you mean by waste further on. But now let's focus on the word minimization. There can be two words associated with waste: waste elimination and waste minimization. The author has focused on not on waste elimination, waste minimization. We will see further on that there are some non-value added activity. Although such activities are not benefiting the customer at all, but still company cannot reduce such cost to zero level. It can reduce it, but it cannot be completely eliminated. Therefore, intentionally, the word minimization has been used instead of the word elimination. So it's an organized method for waste minimization, but you have to keep in mind that in order to reduce the waste, in order to reduce the cost, you cannot compromise on the quality or functionality of the product. That's why it has been written without sacrificing productivity. And the last important word, within a manufacturing system. Okay, so there can be three industry: manufacturer, trader, and the service provider. Basically, lean system is being formed to benefit the manufacturing sector, not the service sector or trader. Although some of the concept to some of the extent can be applied in other industry also, but basically this concept has been derived exclusively for manufacturing sector. So can you repeat me the definition, beta, without looking at your copy of the study material? What is the definition of lean system? Lean system is an organized method for waste minimization, not elimination, without affecting the quality or functionality of the product within a manufacturing system. Okay, now we will focus on the most important word of this definition, and that is the word is waste. So what is waste? It has been given clearly in the study material. Waste is any step or action in a process that is not required to complete a process successfully, commonly called as non-value added activity. So they are both synonyms. Whenever you say waste, it is nothing but non-value added activity. Whenever you are saying non-value added activity, it is the abbreviation of waste. Okay, sure. So in this point, in this particular chapter, you have been guided further. What are the 7 type of waste in a manufacturing environment? Okay, what are the 7 type of waste in a manufacturing environment? So please write down third point. Please write down third point, waste. Waste is any step or action. Waste is any step or action, comma, in which the organization is incurring the cost, in which organization is incurring the cost, but customer is not being benefited, from the same. but the customer is not being benefited from the same. Full stop. Same point है. Next line में लिखे commonly known as, waste is commonly known as non-value added cost. Waste is commonly known as non-value added cost. Okay, beta. Now, a very, very important discussion, and this discussion is also required in chapter number 9. When we start the topic strategic analysis of operating income, a detailed calculation type of question and answers are there regarding the waste. What are the 7 type of waste? Some more definition are to be learned regarding the waste in detail in chapter number 9. Here only the introduction is there. What is waste? What are the 7 type of waste? A detailed discussion will come in chapter number 9, strategic analysis of operating income. So what are the 7 type of waste? Please write down in your copy, beta. 7 type of waste. Seven types of waste. I'm giving you a mnemonic to remember this 7 type of waste. It will be very easy for you. The mnemonic is Timwood. The mnemonic is Timwood. T stands for transportation. I stand for inventory. M stand for motion. Waiting. Overproduction. Overprocessing. And the last is defect. There are 7 type of waste. I have given you mnemonics to remember this. It is very, very helpful whenever the concept waste is there. You have to apply this concept of Timwood. T stands for transportation. I stand for inventory. M stands for motion. W stands for waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, and defect. Please write down in your copy, beta. I'm waiting. I'm giving you 1 minute to copy the content from the screen. Have you copied the same? Now, let's understand the meaning of each and every word. First of all, I'm starting with the word overproduction. According to the author, these are the 7 areas in which organization is incurring the cost, but the customer is being not benefited from the same. Organization is incurring the cost, but the customer is not being benefited by the same. The first point is overproduction. What important is overproduction means excess production apart from fulfilling the demand. Suppose if I have to purchase a phone worth rupees 40,000, it doesn't matter to me that how many phones has been manufactured by the Samsung or how many phones are available at the dealer place or warehouse. It doesn't matter to me. What matter to me is whenever I require the same, the dealer or the company is able to deliver to me. Okay, so what is prohibited? Production is not prohibited. If there is a demand of say 20 units, if there is a demand of say 20 units, and your normal working capacity is 15 units. Once again, beta, na, your normal working capacity is producing 15 units per day, while the demand is 20 units per day. Okay, you can do overtime. That will not be called the overproduction because you are working extra to fulfill the demand of the customer. So, what do you mean by overproduction? Producing ahead of demand. There is no demand yet, and you are doing the production in anticipation of future demand. Okay, please write down this word overproduction. Please write down this word overproduction. Producing ahead of demand. Producing ahead of demand. Please write down. Overproduction doesn't means overproduction doesn't means overtime working. Overproduction doesn't means overtime working to fulfill the increase in demand. To fulfill the increase in demand. So this is one of the type of waste overproduction. Word पे बहुत बहुत stress कीजिएगा. Producing ahead of demand. There has been no demand right now. Still you are producing. Then it amounts to overproduction. But if there is a demand and to fulfill that demand, if you have to work overtime, that overtime is 100% acceptable because it's a normal situation which customer demanded. Okay, but if you are producing ahead of demand, then it will be called as overproduction and it will incur some extra cost which the customer will not be able to pay. Second point I want to focus is inventory. Anna, please listen very carefully. What is waste under inventory? Having more inventory than what is minimally required. The author doesn't say that no type of inventory is to be maintained. You can maintain the inventory of raw material. You can maintain the inventory of WIP. You can maintain the inventory of finished goods. Not maintaining the inventory will lead to stoppage of production and non-delivery of goods to the customer on time. So what is not prohibited? Keeping the inventory. What is prohibited? Keeping inventory more than what is minimally required at any given point of time. So inventory आप maintain कीजिए raw material की, WIP की, finished goods की, that is not at all prohibited in lean system. What is prohibited? Having inventory more than what is minimally required at any given point of time. Please write down beta. Inventory. having more inventory, then what if minimally required, having more inventory, then what if minimally required at any given point of time? Having more inventory than what is minimally required at any given point of time. Okay, beta? Now, third point. Third type of waste, that is the organization is incurring cost, but the customer is not benefited by the same motion. What do you mean by motion? People or equipment moving unnecessarily. This word is very important. Moving unnecessarily than what is required to perform the process. People can move here and there. Machine can move here and there in the manufacturing system. What is prohibited? People or equipment moving unnecessarily than what is required to complete the process. Suppose in your articleship firm, there are 20 articles and 5 chartered accountants. A total of qualified 25 staff are there, and there is a single printer. So unnecessarily, people have to move from here and there to get the printout. So that is prohibited. Motion, people moving unnecessarily than what is required to perform the process. You can have 3 or 4 printers in a qualified staff of 25 so that the people movement can be minimized. Suppose the punching machine is only 2 among the 20 article. So whenever any article required the punching machine, paper punching machine, they recall. So that equipment is moving unnecessarily because it's a very reasonable item. Hardly it will cost 200 rupees. So there must be paper punching machine at every desk of article. So that is called as motion. People or equipment moving unnecessarily than what is required to perform the process. Please write down. Third point, motion. People or equipment moving unnecessarily, then what is required to perform the process? People or equipment moving unnecessarily, then what is required to perform the process? Next point below. Waiting. Here also organization is spending the cost, but the customer is not being benefited. Whenever you study the waste, always remember this dialogue. These are the 7 areas in which organization is incurring cost, but the customer is not being benefited by the same. Therefore, any cost incurred on this area will be termed as non-value added cost, such as inventory. You cannot eliminate the inventory. That's why the word waste minimization has been used, not the word waste elimination. Okay, you cannot completely stop the motion. You cannot completely stop the defect. There has to be some. So that's why the word, intentionally word minimization has been used in the definition of lean system and not the elimination word. Okay, so inventory we have covered, motion we have covered, overproduction we have covered. Now the fourth type of waste is waiting. What do you mean by waiting? When a product is manufactured, it passes through one or more process, 2 or more process A, process B, process C. Output of process A is an input to process B. So it might be possible that speed of department 2 is more than the speed of department 1. So unless and until department 2 gets its input from department 1, ये department 2 है बेटा आपका, This is department 3. So output of department 1 even input to department 2. So it might be possible कि इसकी department 2 की speed ज्यादा है and speed of department 1 is less. So unless and until department 2 gets an input from 1, he cannot process that one. So here, due to low speed of department 1, many a times workers and machines of department 2 are kept waiting for an input. And such waiting costs not only in terms of labor cost, but also in terms of idleness of machines. So that is the four type of wave, that is waiting. Okay, लिखिए बेटा, waiting के बारे में लिखिए आप. Product waiting on the next production step. Product waiting on the next production step. Now, next point is very simple, over processing. Please write down. Over processing. इसमें लिख दीजिए, सिंपल है, नथिंग टू एक्सप्लेन. परफॉर्मिंग अननेसेसरी फंक्शंस. Performing unnecessary functions. Write down next point. It's also very simple. Defect. Defect. Non-write first time. Please write down the meaning. Defect का मतलब non-write first time. When you couldn't manufacture that product up to the quality standard the very first time, then you have to process that again. That is known as defect. The important four words are non-right first time. पहली बार में जो चीजें सही नहीं बनी, non-right first time. Okay. And the last type of wave is transportation. इसको आपको समझना पड़ेगा बेटा. There can be different types of transportation cost. The first one being from supplier factory to our factory, purchase of raw material का जो हम carriage inward बोलते हैं. One is carriage outward. Once the goods are sold, we have to deliver that goods at the customer place. For transportation, जो यहां पे रखा गया है वेव, that is not the carriage inward and carriage outward. वो नहीं रखा गया है. बेशक आप रॉ मटेरियल को परचेज कीजिए सप्लायर से, डेफिनेटली सम कॉस्ट विल बी इनकर्ड टू अराइव एट द फैक्ट्री गेट. इसके बाद whenever you sold the product, definitely you have to deliver that product to the customer place. So such type of transportation cost is not covered. What is covered here? Transportation cost is from one production department to another production department. So जो यहाँ पे जो cost लगती है when the product completed in department number 1, when it is being moved to department number 2, so यहाँ पे जो transportation cost आपको लग रही है, that is a type of wave, because such transportation will not increase the value to the customer. यहाँ पे जो goods आपका transfer हो रहा है second से third में, that is again a type of wave, because transferring goods from department 2 to department 3 doesn't add any value, although it incur cost but doesn't add any value in the eyes of customer. So ये कैसे हम overcome करते हैं, इसके लिए हमारे पास अलग अलग टेक्निक्स अवेलेबल है बेटा. जस्ट इन टाइम में भी टेक्निक है, टीपीएम में भी हमारे पास टेक्निक है, 5F में भी हमारे पास टेक्निक है, जहां पर हम इस ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट को एलिमिनेट तो नहीं कर पाएंगे, बट डेफिनेटली थ्रू द टेक्निक ऑफ लीन सिस्टम वी कैन मिनिमाइज द सेम, है ना. लिखिए बेटा ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में, आप ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में लिखिए, transporting the product that is not actually required. Transporting the product that is not actually required. Transporting the product that is not actually required. Okay, beta. So hope you understand the seven type of wave. The mnemonic is Tim Wood. T stand for transportation. We have already understood what type of transportation are not covered. What is the type of transportation wave? Moving product from one place to another is known as transportation wave. And I'm once again repeating, beta, the word minimization is given. All the seven type of waves which have been given here cannot be completely avoided. That's why the word intentionally has been used, that lean system is an organized method for waste minimization, not the एलिमिनेशन. ओके बेटा, तो चलिए मैं आपको समय देता हूं बेटा. एक बार आप इस डिटेल को यहां पे पढ़ लीजिए. पेज नंबर 2 में जितनी डिटेल है, read it out. I am giving you 3 minutes of time to complete this reading, and next we will move what are the technique through which the seven type of waste can be minimized, and all those technique together makes up the lean system. Okay, chaliye 3 minutes of time are available with you. चलिए बेटा, पढ़ लिया आपने. अब आइए आप इसमें, अब लिखिए आप टेक्निक्स ऑफ लीन सिस्टम. टेक्निक्स ऑफ लीन सिस्टम. इसमें लिखिए आप द फॉलोइंग आर द फॉलोइंग आर द टेक्निक्स ऑफ लीन सिस्टम. The following are the techniques of lean system. Write down one by one, beta. The first technique, just-in-time system. The first technique, just-in-time system. The second technique, please write down Kaizen costing. The second technique, Kaizen costing. The third technique, 5S. 5S. The fourth technique, TPM. The fourth technique, TPM. The fifth technique, cellular manufacturing. Cellular manufacturing. And the last technique is Six Sigma. Please write down next line with a red pen if you are having the red pen, beta. All of the above technique, all of the above technique shares the common objective. All of the above technique shares the common objective. That is minimization of waste. All of the above techniques share the common objective, that is minimization of waste. Okay, now we will start the very first topic, that is just-in-time system. This is the first technique through which we will reduce the waste in the form of 7 type of waste. ध्यान रखिएगा बेटा, जो 7 type of waste है, it's not necessary that all the 7 type of waste will be eliminated by the technique just in time or Kaizen costing. All of the 6 techniques which we have written just in time, Kaizen costing, 5S, TPM, cellular manufacturing, and Six Sigma carries different kind of waste focus. In just-in-time system, we focus on overproduction, especially reducing the overproduction and reducing the inventory wastage cost. The basic objective is this. Along with that, we are reducing the waiting time and the motion also. So different technique will focus on different kind of way. But one thing is sure, by applying more and more technique of lean system, you will be able to minimize the 7 type of waste as we have already discussed. So please write down in your copy, give the heading. This is a major topic, beta. This is the major topic, just-in-time system. I think the remaining time will be devoted to this topic alone, just-in-time system. It's a lengthy topic, okay? Just-in-time system. So what do you mean by just-in-time system, beta? First of all, I will clear the misconception of just-in-time system. Many students is of the thinking that just-in-time system means no stock of raw material and finished goods. If we are not maintaining any stock of raw material and finished goods, and whenever we require raw material, we will purchase that raw material. Whenever we require finished goods, we will purchase that finished good. So that is not the case of just-in-time system. It is a totally wrong misconception that in just-in-time system, we will be not having any kind of raw material and any kind of finished good. We will be having the raw material, we will be having the finished good, but still the concept is altogether different. So please remove this concept from your mind that if any organization has applied just-in-time system, there will be no stock of raw material, there will be no stock of finished goods. That is not at all possible in real world. Just imagine yourself, beta, no company can survive without maintaining the stock of raw material, without maintaining the stock of finished goods. There has to be some stock of raw material and finished goods, otherwise no one can survive. तो देखिए, एक आपने कंसेप्ट पढ़ा था इंटर में अबाउट डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ स्टॉक लेवल, है ना? दिस इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ नॉन जेआईटी, जिसमें आपके पास एक एवरेज लेवल होता है, एक रीऑर्डर लेवल होता है, एक मिनिमम लेवल होता है, एंड देयर इज आल्सो अ डेंजर लेवल. ओके, सो ये है आपका डेंजर लेवल. This is we can call as minimum level, called it as reorder level, called it as maximum level. Okay, so this is the non-GIT system where we are maintaining stock level for each and every item of stock in the form of danger level, minimum level, reorder level, maximum level. While in case of just-in-time system, whether for raw material or finished goods, there is a single label. यहां पे एक सिंगल लेवल आपको मिलेगा, एंड दैट लेवल इज मिनिमम लेवल. यही हमारा मिनिमम लेवल है, यही हमारा रीऑर्डर लेवल है, यही हमारा मैक्सिमम लेवल है. So this is the real concept of just-in-time system. In just-in-time system, we maintain the stock of raw material. In just-in-time system, we maintain the stock of finished goods. Okay, यहाँ पे हम stock रखते हैं. Now please listen. If today, the date of today is 3rd of November. Suppose I am a Maruti Limited. I am Maruti Limited. So if no car has been sold today, then I will not purchase any kind of raw material. I will not manufacture any kind of finished goods. Suppose on 4th of November, I sold 5 cars. मैंने 5 कार को बेचा. So whatever raw material are required to manufacture those 5 cars, we are having such raw material, we are having such finished goods. Now, since the stock of finished goods has been decreased by 5 units, we will produce 5 cars. To produce that 5 car, we are having the stock of raw material in the form of single, minimum, reorder and maximum level. And now, since those 5 car are manufactured, since the raw material are issued to the production department, this stock level has gone down. So therefore, to again maintain the stock at that level, we will purchase the raw material needed to manufacture those 5 car. Let me very clear बेटा. चलिए एक example लेके चलते हैं इसको यहाँ पर. Suppose we are taking the example of Maruti Limited. Just a minute, beta. Please draw this diagram first of all. Stock level of JIT and non-JIT. Please draw this diagram. Stock level of JIT and non-JIT. My stylus pen is not working better. Give me a minute. So I'm taking the example of Maruti Limited. Finished goods is car. And suppose raw material, simple raw material we are taking is tires. Okay, 5 tires per car, including the stepney. So whether Maruti Limited, when applied JIT, having the stock? Yes. I am once again saying that in no case without maintaining the stock, you can operate the business. So stock level is there. Suppose 100 car stock level is there. This 100 car is the minimum level, maximum level, reorder level, everything. In non-JIT system, we are having different type of stock level. But in JIT system, we are having only single type of stock level, that is alone the minimum, maximum, reorder, whatever we can call it. So the stock level we are maintaining is 100 car. And suppose the tires we are maintaining is 500 numbers. Okay, now date, number of cars sold, car manufactured, tires purchased. Suppose on 3rd of November, there is no demand, so no car has been purchased. So no car has been sold. ठीक है. Now, अब demand हमारी pull नहीं हुई है. Since there is no car sold, what JIT say? Unless and until there is a demand, you will not manufacture. Unless and until you will not manufacture, you will not order the raw material. इस केस में 3rd of November को हमने एक इमेजिनरी सिचुएशन लिया है कि कोई भी कार नहीं बिकी, हमारे वर्कर आइडल रहेंगे, बट वी विल नॉट मैन्युफैक्चर एनी कार. And since no car is manufactured, therefore no tires has been purchased to manufacture that car. सो अगर डिमांड पुल नहीं होगी, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इसके ऊपर पूरा डिपेंडेंट है। डिमांड पुल नहीं हुई, हमने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नहीं किया, even our machine are idle on 3rd of November, even our labor are idle, but we will not manufacture because there is no demand. Okay, और हमारी डिमांड नहीं थी तो हमने मैन्युफैक्चर नहीं किया, and we are not manufactured, therefore we are not purchased the raw material. Suppose on 4th of November 10 car have been sold. Tell me beta whether we can deliver the car to the customer instantly or the customer has to wait some time because we are operating in just in time system. Once again I am repeating, on 4th of November demand of 10 car are there. My question to you is whether this 10 cars can be delivered to the customer instantly or they have to wait since we are operating on JIT system. I am waiting with your answer, yes or no. Whether customer has to wait for those cars since we are following JIT or they can be delivered instantly to the customer. Please revert with yes or no, but I am waiting for your answers. Yes, beta. Yes, Bhomik, Kanimoji, Aniket, you have given the right answer because even in JIT system, we are maintaining some stock. We are maintaining the stock of 100 cars. We are maintaining the stock of 100 cars. For where this number comes from, it's depend on company. I will tell you the originator of this concept, JIT system is Toyota company. The owner at that time is Taichi Ono. Taichi nahi hai, not Taiji, it's Taichi Ono. The owner of Toyota in the early 1950s have introduced this concept of JIT system, and at that time, this is the real data. And at that time, they are maintaining the stock of 4 week sales. 4 week में जितनी सेल होने वाली है, that much stock they are carrying under JIT system. है ना? This is the real data because the originator of just-in-time system is Toyota. है ना? तो कई बार आपको JIT system के बाद एक word मिलेगा TPS, Toyota Production System, because the originator of JIT is Toyota. So these are just the numbers which I have given to you. It can be any number. It depends on the company. But one thing is sure, there will not be stock in excess of 100 car. There will not be a stock in less than 100 car. It is the minimum level. It is the maximum level. It is the reorder level. So on 4th of November, 10 car demand is there. So you can deliver this car from this 100 car. The 100 has now been reduced to 90. Now, since the demand is pulled, whatever, now very important, whatever demand has been pulled, that much only is to be produced. जितनी डिमांड जनरेट हुई है उतनी ही कार हम मैन्युफैक्चर करेंगे. नथिंग मोर, नथिंग लेस देन व्हाट द कार हैज बीन डिमांडेड बाय द कस्टमर. On 3rd of November, since there is no demand, we are not manufacture even a single unit. On 4th of November, since the demand is 10 car, we have to produce 10 car. Now, we have taken the example of tire. Whether we have to wait for arrival of raw material to manufacture such 10 car, please tell me beta. Whether we have to wait for arrival of raw material to manufacture this 10 car, yes or no? Whether we have to wait for the availability of raw material to manufacture this 10 car since they will be received from supplier, yes or no? I'm waiting beta, please revert. No, beta, we will not wait for the raw material because we are maintaining certain level of raw material, which is again I am telling this is the minimum level, this is the ROL, this is the maximum level. How many tires are needed to manufacture this 10 car? 50 tires are needed. We are having the stock of 500 car. So 500 minus 50. Now our stock is 450 tire. Now ask yourself a question whether tires need to be purchased, order need to be placed on 4th of November for tires, yes or no? Through this diagram, beta, please reply. We are already having 500 tire. Out of that 500 tire, 50 tires will be given to manufacture those 10 cars. Whether a fresh purchase order for tire is to be placed, yes or no? Yes, definitely, because this level is the minimum level, reorder level, maximum level. Since our level goes down to 450, therefore, to maintain the same level, we have to order 50 number of tires, 50 tires. अब एक बार हिंदी में बोलता हूं, नाउ आई विल टेल इन हिंदी. जितनी कार आपकी डिमांड आई है उतनी ही कार आप मैन्युफैक्चर करेंगे. उस कार को मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए जितना रॉ मटेरियल लगेगा उतना ही रॉ मटेरियल आप परचेज करेंगे, न कम न ज्यादा. दिस इज समथिंग वी कॉल्ड एज जस्ट इन टाइम सिस्टम. तो बी इट वेरी क्लियर बेटा, जेआईटी का सिस्टम ये बिल्कुल भी नहीं है कि देयर विल बी नो स्टॉक ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल, नो स्टॉक ऑफ फिनिश गुड. देयर हैज टू बी सम, बट if there is no demand, we will not manufacture anything, we will not purchase anything. If there is a demand, we will manufacture those quantity only, and to manufacture those quantity, whatever raw material are needed, we will purchase such raw material only, such quantity of raw material only. Okay बेटा, so अगर आपको ये लिखना है तो आप ये डायग्राम बना सकते हैं बेटा. I am giving you 2 minutes of time to copy this content, because बाद में if your attempt is May 2023 or November 2023, then it is difficult at those time to recall accurately the concept of just in time system, है ना. So आप ये कॉपी कर लीजिए और अपनी लैंग्वेज में जो भी आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन लिखना है, write down that explanation. I am giving you 3 minutes of time because it's very important to be clear at the time of revision also, not at the time of first learning. Okay, चलिए. ऑल्सो एक्सप्लेन इन योर ओन लैंग्वेज बेटा ना. एक बार आप एक दो पॉइंट के लिए लाइन लिख देंगे ना तो इट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल एट द टाइम ऑफ रिविजन. चलिए बेटा स्टार्ट करूं तो देखिए अब आइए आप स्टडी मटेरियल में। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, it's not necessary that organization should adopt JIT for the whole organization. On a pilot basis, JIT can be applied only for production, that is JIT manufacturing. You can apply non-JIT system for raw material stock. Otherwise, you can apply JIT system for raw material stock and continue the non-JIT system for manufacturing. So it is not at all compulsory that whenever a JIT system is to be applied, it is to be applied simultaneously for manufacturing and raw material. It can be applied time by time, that we can start with JIT manufacturing, and later on when the JIT system manufacturing benefit us, later on we can implement the JIT purchasing. So please write down this special point, beta. JIT system is not at all required. JIT system is not at all required to be applied simultaneously. Underline the word simultaneously. Simultaneously for manufacturing as well as purchasing. Full stop. In other words, the organization can only adopt JIT manufacturing and non-JIT for raw material purchase and non-JIT for raw material purchase, or the other combination can be, JIT for raw material purchase, while non-JIT raw material, JIT for raw material purchase, while non-JIT for manufacturing. चलिए देखिए बेटा क्या डेफिनेशन आपको प्रोवाइड किया गया है बाय चार्टर्ड इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटेंट CIMA, है ना। देखिए JIT सिस्टम whose objective is to produce, जो प्रोड्यूस वर्ड यूज हुआ है दैट इज फॉर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग JIT। इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड देखिएगा आप यहां पे जो वर्ड यूज किया गया है वो और यूज किया गया है, ना कि एंड। अगर यहां पे एंड वर्ड यूज करता इट मींस दैट यू हैव टू अप्लाई साइमल्टेनियसली प्रोडक्शन, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एज वेल एज परचेजिंग JIT। नो, you can go either for production JIT, you can either go for procurement of components with raw material purchasing. So the intentional word or is given. हमारी बहुत शिकायत रहती है बेटा कि हमें थ्योरी में नंबर क्यों नहीं मिलते। द नंबर डिडक्शन रीजन इज यू आर नॉट राइटिंग द कीवर्ड। अगर आप इस और के बदले यहां पे एंड लिख देंगे पूरा मीनिंग चेंज हो जाता है। इट इंडिकेट दैट साइमल्टेनियसली वी हैव टू अप्लाई बोथ द मेथड। सो व्हेनेवर यू मेक अ रीडिंग ना बेटा, प्लीज बी वेरी अलर्ट। Each and every word used in especially in the definition carries a particular meaning, carries a particular intention. You have to blot out that intention so that you can remember those keywords and write down the same keyword in the examination paper. Okay, so the system objective is to produce or to procure. Produce is being used for the word product. procure is been used for the word component if they are required by a customer or for use. So देखिए बेटा, इसको इस प्रकार से पढ़िए, आप मेरे साथ में पढ़िए, है ना, जितना मैं बोल रहा हूं उतना ही पढ़िए. ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू प्रोड्यूस प्रोडक्ट, मैं अंडरलाइन कर देता हूं, सिर्फ आपको इतना ही पढ़ना है, वॉट एवर आई एम अंडरलाइनिंग द वर्ड्स. तो जो मैंने अंडरलाइन किया, अगर फिर आप इतना पढ़ेंगे, इट मींस इट्स जीआईटी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग system whose objective is to produce product if they are required by a customer. So it means you are talking about GIT manufacturing. Okay, now I am giving you some other words combination. System whose objective is to procure components if they are required for use. अब पढ़िए आप, system whose objective is to procure means purchase, components means raw material, if they are required for use. It means it's GIT purchasing. Clear हुआ बेटा? जब भी definition आप लिखते हैं, you have to be very clear. If you are using the word procure, purchase, you have to use the word components, raw material. If you are using the word produce, you have to use the word product oblique finished goods. And if the production is there, then F required by a customer. If procure is used, then F required for use. Clear है definition? Rather than for stock, हमें stock के लिए purchase नहीं करना है. वो जो हमने एक minimum stock maintain किया, वो हमेशा चलेगा. But just for stocking purpose, in case there is no demand, we will not produce anything. If we are not producing anything, we will not purchase anything. Just-in-time system works on pull system, which responds to demand. Pull system. Whenever demand is pulled, then only we will produce. Whenever we will produce, then only we will purchase such quantity of raw material. In contrast to a push system, ये नॉन जीआईटी के बारे में बता रहा है. पुश सिस्टम मींस नॉन जीआईटी, इन विच स्टॉक आर देयर एज बफर बिटवीन द डिफरेंट एलिमेंट्स सच एज परचेजिंग, प्रोडक्शन एंड सेल्स. चलिए बिना देखे बोलिए. जीआईटी सिस्टम ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू प्रोड्यूस और प्रोक्यूर प्रोडक्ट और कंपोनेंट्स if they are required for by customer or for use rather than for stock. स्टॉक के लिए हमें परचेज नहीं करना है. हमने ऑलरेडी एक स्टॉक लेवल डिसाइड कर लिया, वही स्टॉक मिनिमम है, मैक्सिमम है, रीऑर्डर है, एवरीथिंग. जीआईटी वर्क्स ऑन पुल सिस्टम which responds to demand. In contrast to a pull system where there always be some stock between different elements such as production, purchasing and sales. क्लियर है बेटा? यही चीज आपको यहां पे बताई गई है, जीआईटी प्रोडक्शन एंड जीआईटी परचेसिंग. ठीक है, चलिए मैं आपको 3 मिनट का समय देता हूं बेटा. आप बहुत बहुत अच्छे से इस डेफिनेशन को जो मैंने अभी हाईलाइट किया, इतना पार्ट आपको अभी पढ़ना है अपने लेवल पे. एंड रिमेंबर ईच एंड एवरी वर्ड कैरीज अ इंपॉर्टेंट मीनिंग. ठीक है, चलिए तो देखिए क्या है इसमें. आपको समय देता हूं, आप एक बार इसको रीड आउट कीजिए. Please read out very, very carefully, beta, and understand the meaning of each and every word. चलिए बेटा, रीड आउट कर लिया आपने? नाउ राइट डाउन इन योर कॉपी, what are the prerequisites? Please write down in your copy, what are the prerequisites for successful implementation of, what are the prerequisites for successful implementation of just-in-time system? What are the prerequisites for successful implementation of just-in-time system? No, यहाँ पे in this point we are discussing what must be done in order to make JIT successful. If you are not working on this area, there is no chance that JIT will be successful. Okay, so it's not that we are thinking about implementing JIT system and on the next day we are benefited by the same. You have to prepare yourself for implementation of JIT. That discussion we are doing right now. What are the prerequisites for successful implementation of JIT? In other words, on which area you have to work first so that just-in-time system can be implemented. First point लिखिए बेटा, supplier. First point, supplier. इसमें लिखिए details given on page number 5 of chapter number 3. Detail given on page number 3.5 कर दीजिए. Details given on page number 3.5. What is the prerequisite? The first prerequisite is supplier. Without the support of the supplier of raw material, you cannot even imagine to get the benefit of just-in-time system. To implement the benefit of just-in-time system, it is very, very mandatory that supplier is with you always 24/7. Then only you can implement the just-in-time system. So what we require those suppliers which work on our terms and conditions. Whenever we demand, they will deliver on that. What time we demand, they will deliver on that day. What quality we needed, they will deliver that quantity. हमें वह supplier चाहिए जो हमारी डेट पर, हमारे टाइम पर, हमारे क्वालिटी नॉर्म्स के अकॉर्डिंगली हमें सप्लाई कर पाए. फर्स्ट पॉइंट. सेकेंड पॉइंट, our engineering staff will visit the supplier site and examine their process so that we can confirm ourselves that yes, these are the supplier which can supply us the goods on our terms and conditions and they are reliable one. So our engineering staff will visit the supplier site and examine their complete process to satisfy ourselves that yes, these are the supplier whom we can rely on the delivery schedule and the delivery quality. Okay. Now, basically, whenever, जैसे यहाँ पे हमने एग्जांपल लिया था 50 टायर्स हमें 4th of November को डिमांड आ रही है, हमें रिक्वायर्ड है. So normally the non-traditional system is to issue a purchase order. In JIT system, you have to take the you have to use the IT इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी आपको यूज करना पड़ेगा. आपको एक सिस्टम डेवलप करना पड़ेगा EDI इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डेटा इंटरचेंज सिस्टम. EDI इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डेटा इंटरचेंज सिस्टम. I am going to back to that example. On 4th of November, we require 50 tire. Whether those 50 tires are available? Yes, we are having the stock of 500 tire. जैसे ही इस 500 टायर में से 50 टायर स्कैन होके प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट को इश्यू होंगे. स्कैन हुआ 50 टायर. जैसे ही 50 टायर स्कैन हुए, ऑन रियल टाइम बेसिस थ्रू EDI इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डेटा इंटरचेंज, this information will be sent to the supplier that 50 tires are needed. You have to send the 50 tire today at this time at the of the desired quality. So यहां पर कोई भी मैनुअल इंटरवेंशन नहीं होगा कि जैसे ही हमारे 500 टायर में से 50 टायर हमने इश्यू किया, हमें मैनुअल प्रोसेस अडॉप्ट करना है. नो, जैसे ही हमने वो 50 टायर को स्कैन किया to issue to the production department on real time basis, the same information is also sent to the supplier through EDI electronic data interchange. ठीक है. And the last point is, हमें ये कोशिश करना है कि हम डायरेक्टली ये जो ऑर्डर आ रहा है इसको वहीं पे ड्रॉप कर दे जहां पे इसकी रिक्वायरमेंट है, सो दैट ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट कैन बी सेव. So first point, we require those supplier which work on our terms and condition. हमारी डेट, हमारा टाइम, हमारी प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी. Second, our engineering staff will visit the supplier site and examine whether we can rely on that supplier in terms of delivery schedule and the delivery quality. Third, there will be no manual order or manual purchase order. All the information will be sent to through EDI electronic data interchange in real time. ओके बेटा. सो अब मैं आपको समय देता हूं, आपको कुछ पॉइंट्स और भी मिलेंगे, इन पॉइंट्स को पढ़िए. दिस इज द वेरी फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट, दिस इज द वेरी फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ ED of implementing the just in time system. There are further 3 or 4 requirement. Together, when you implement all those suggestions, then only your JIT can be successful. Okay beta. Once again I am giving you 3 minutes, because unless and until you read out from the study material, you will not get the confidence beta na. और मैं आपको ये चीज असाइनमेंट में भी नहीं दे सकता हूं. सो इट्स बेटर दैट यू मस्ट रीड इन द टाइम गिवन टू यू फॉर रीडिंग. ओके. सो 3 मिनट्स है, जितना आपको स्क्रीन में दिख रहा है उतना एक बार आपको इसको पढ़ना है. Please read out very, very carefully, but it's very important that each and every para of study material you must read out. ओके बेटा, रीडिंग कंप्लीट हो गई अब आपकी। चलिए देखिए, अब आप सेकंड पॉइंट में आइए। प्लीज राइट डाउन इन योर कॉपी द फर्स्ट पॉइंट यू रिटर्न इज सप्लायर, सेकंड पॉइंट यू मस्ट राइट सेटअप टाइम। सेटअप टाइम, सेटअप टाइम। Okay, what do you mean by setup time? First of all, let it be very clear. Once a batch is completed and before the second batch commence, whatever formalities you have to done in the machines is known as setup time in Hindi. जब आपकी एक बैच कंप्लीट हो जाती है और जब आप दूसरी बैच स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं, तो आफ्टर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ फर्स्ट बैच and the start of the second batch, whatever formalities you are carrying on, such time is known as setup time. I will give you an example. Suppose a plane has take off from New Delhi to Mumbai. Okay, New Delhi to Mumbai. Suppose the plane has take off at 10 a.m. from Delhi. It reached to Mumbai at suppose 11:30. It reached to Mumbai suppose at 11:30. Now the same plane has to retake off for Delhi. वही plane अब वापस Delhi जाएगा. Whether it is practically possible that the plane has landed at 11:30 in the morning at Mumbai and the same plane with other passenger for Delhi can take off at 11:30? Not at all possible. There should be a minimum gap of 30 to 45 minutes so that the plane can again take off walk back to the destination New Delhi. तो ये प्लेन अभी आपका दिल्ली से मुंबई आया है, जब ये मुंबई से दिल्ली जाएगा तो डेफिनेटली इट रिक्वायर सम टाइम. सपोज द टाइम इज नाउ 12:15 PM मुंबई टू दिल्ली, ये वापस अब जाएगा. सो दिस 45 मिनट प्लेन के टेक ऑफ लैंड करने पर और वापस टेक ऑफ करने के टाइम को वी कॉल्ड इट एज सेटअप टाइम. व्हाट एक्टिविटीज आर बीइंग डन? जो भी मुंबई आए हैं पैसेंजर दिल्ली से, वो पहले डीबोर्ड होंगे, देन द कंप्लीट एयरक्राफ्ट विल बी क्लीन, all the paper documentation will be exchanged with the pilot and the ATC. Then the passengers wants to fly to Delhi, they will board, then only the plane will take off at 12:15. So all this activity will incur some cost, that is known as setup cost. ये setup time हुआ आपका 45 मिनट, and वो जो आपकी cost जो incurred होगी that is known as setup cost. Hope it is clear बेटा. Setup time, time between completion of one batch and start of another batch is known as setup time. Time between completion of one batch and start of next batch is known as setup time. और इस duration में जो भी cost लग रही है, that cost is known as setup cost. है ना? Now tell me बेटा, whether setup cost is fixed per setup or it can vary. जैसे जो भी activities यहाँ पे हो रही है, whether it is fixed or it depends on number of passengers. Suppose there are 110 passenger or 120 passenger, whether the setup cost per time will change proportionately. Important point, proportionately क्या वो change होगी? Tell me बेटा. whether setup cost will change proportionately according to the number of passengers or it will remain fixed. Yes, correct, beta. Rahul Patel, Dharasha, it will not change. It will remain fixed, almost fixed. Okay. It doesn't depend whether there are 100 passenger or 110 passenger. Every time the plane has landed and the same plane has to take off, definitely all the costs are fixed in nature. It will not vary according to the number of passengers. ठीक है बेटा. अब ध्यान दीजिए. अब इसी एग्जांपल को अपन एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में ले चलते हैं. सपोज जो मेरे पास मशीन है, the capacity of the machine is 100 units per batch. At a time, a maximum of 100 units can be manufactured. Setup cost is rupee 5,000. Setup cost is rupee 5,000. So in non-JIT system, we are following push system. It means we are not referring to the demand. If there is a production capacity, we will utilize that complete capacity. So non-JIT में हम क्या करते थे? We know the capacity of this machine is to produce 100 units per batch. Okay. Cost, setup cost is rupee 5,000. Whether we are manufacturing 100 units in that batch, whether we are manufacturing 80 units in that batch, whether we are manufacturing 40 units in the batch, our setup cost of rupee 5,000 will remain same. Okay. So in non-JIT system, what we are doing in order to reduce, please listen my word very carefully, beta. In order to reduce the setup cost per unit, not in totality per batch. In order to reduce the setup cost per unit, what we are doing, we are manufacturing maximum units that can be manufactured in a batch, so that our setup cost per unit will get reduced. So we will do maximum production so that setup cost can be reduced. That is, setup cost per unit will be, I think, rupee 50 रुपये है. क्यों हमने यहां पे मैक्सिमम प्रोडक्शन किया? क्योंकि हमारी सेटअप कॉस्ट कम से कम आए. Whether this thinking will be equally applicable in case of JIT? क्या JIT में भी हम every time 100 units manufacture करेंगे? Yes or no with logic. In non-JIT, we will produce the maximum units in a batch so that the setup cost per unit will be reduced to minimum. That is, in this case, 50. Now my question to you is whether in JIT system also, whether we will produce 100 units per batch always or not. Yes or no with your logic. Logic is also required with us. Whether in JIT system 100 units per batch will be produced every time, yes or no, along with the logic. Tell me the logic also better. Very good, Rahul Patel, Dhara Shah, Kanimoji. You have given the correct answer. No. In JIT system, number of units in a batch is not fixed. Can I say number of units in a batch is equal to demand pulled? Just think over it, beta. In just-in-time system, number of units to be produced is equal to demand pulled. Can I say that? Yes, whatever demand has been pulled, we have to produce that one. So in JIT system, the demand is not fixed. Whatever demand is there, we have to produce that much car only, neither more nor less. So in JIT system, we cannot produce 100 units at a time every time. So what will be the problem? Just identify it up. In JIT system, it might be possible that 10 units are produced in a batch. Sometimes 70 units are produced in a batch. Sometimes 55 units are produced in a batch, depending upon the demand pull. So what will be the issue while producing according to the demand? The answer is itself in the screen, beta. The answer is itself in the screen. What will happen if we produce units in a batch according to the demand? Number of units in a batch is equal to demand pull. What will happen? Please communicate. Very good, Aniket beta. It will result in higher setup cost per unit. Higher setup cost per unit. The objective of lean system is to reduce the cost. Don't you think by applying the JIT system, we are increasing the cost in the form of higher setup? We are increasing the cost in the form of higher setup. Therefore, the prerequisite for just-in-time system is, if you want to implement just-in-time system, you must reduce the setup time. You must reduce the setup time. ये जो 45 minutes यहाँ पे लग रहा है ना, if you can reduce the 45 minutes to 40 minutes, 35 minutes, 25 minutes, definitely your setup cost will also be reduced. Although it's not possible that you think and the next time you will reduce the setup time. Trial and error. The word here given in your study material is iteration. Iteration means trial and error. You have to make multiple trial and error, multiple iteration, so that you can arrive at a time which can reduce the setup time. This is the setup time now, and now the setup time can be reduced. Can you tell me, beta, what airlines company has done in the last 1 or 2 years to reduce the setup time? It's very common by all the airlines. They have adopted that point, and definitely they have been benefited by reduction in the setup time. Hardly now it will take 30 minutes if you are flying through Indigo Airlines. Okay, earlier it was 45 minutes to 60 minutes. Now it has been reduced to 30 minutes. What they have done in order to reduce the fare? Can you please provide me 1 or 2 points? They have executed it properly so that the setup time has been reduced. And the important word is iteration. You have to make the trial and error of the same procedure and think where the time wastage is there. If that time is cut, definitely the setup cost will be reduced. Where the airlines company has worked in the last 1 or 2 years to reduce the setup cost. Please communicate fast, beta. The one of the point which I have seen is the aerospace itself collect the waste through requesting you. If you are having any kind of waste, you can drop it in the carry bag they are carrying. So the cleanup time is reduced to some extent. The second example they have implemented to reduce the setup time is, now they have made 3 zones for the passenger who wants to board the plane. The first zone is called, they called it zone 3, in which row number 21 to 31 passenger will first board, then 11 to 20, then 1 to 10, so that if any time is needed by the last row passenger, they are not disturbing the early row passengers. Okay, so they have bifurcated the boarding into 3 parts. First of all, the last row passenger will be boarded. If we are taking time in placing their luggage in the upper cabin, the other passenger will not have to wait. So in this way, beta, they have reduced the setup time. So it's not impossible to reduce the setup time. The only thing required is you must focus on reducing the setup time, because in JIT system, the batch size, the order size is not fixed. It keeps on fluctuating depending upon the demand. Okay, so please read out this content from the study material, beta. It is given, the important word is iteration. After a number of iteration, the word iteration means trial and error. The word iteration means trial and error. Have a reading of this para, beta. I'm giving you 3 minutes of time to reduce the para on setup time. How we can reduce the setup time so that fluctuation in the number of units will not cost much in terms of higher setup cost per unit. Okay, chaliye. Okay, beta, you read the same. The word iteration means trial and error. Okay, now let's take a break of 15 minutes, beta. Then we will do one thing. There are 3 or more 4 points are there, which are the prerequisites for successful implementation of JIT. Okay, so what we will do, we will cover those 3 or 4 points in next session. We will start practical question on JIT. That will be a mix of theory. Already we have covered a lot of theory in the first part. Whenever I say theory, beta, it will never be asked, what do you mean by JIT? You to apply that theory in the given case scenario. Okay, so don't misunderstood this subject with the theory. Theory is something that you have mug up the same, and if asked, you have written the same and you will get full marks. No. In this particular paper, you have to understand the theory, you have to mug up the key words there, and whenever the situation demand, you have to apply that theory in that particular case study or case scenario. ओके, चलिए, तो समय है आपके पास 15 मिनट्स का ब्रेक है. Then we will hold the remaining points of prerequisite we will cover in the next session so that we can start a practical portion of JIT. So it will be a combination of theoretical knowledge as well as practical knowledge in every session. Okay, चलिए तो 1958 तक ब्रेक है बेटा, 1958 तक ब्रेक है. Then we will start the practical portion of JIT. Okay, beta. Welcome back. Now, holding the some of the theoretical points that is prerequisite of successful implementation of JIT. Now we are moving towards the practical portion. Okay. So for practical portion, in almost all of the question, you have been tested on two parts. What will be the cost due to non-JIT system एंड व्हाट विल बी द कॉस्ट ड्यू टू जीआईटी सिस्टम. यहां पर दो एरिया में आपको करना पड़ता है, तो लिखिए बेटा द मेजर कॉस्ट, लिखिए कॉस्ट इन नॉन जेआईटी एंड जेआईटी, कॉस्ट इन नॉन जेआईटी सिस्टम एंड जेआईटी सिस्टम, कॉस्ट इन नॉन जेआईटी सिस्टम एंड जेआईटी सिस्टम. अंडरलाइन कर दीजिए, दिस इज द हेडिंग. नाउ प्लीज राइट डाउन. द मेजर कॉस्ट associated with non-JIT system, the major cost associated with non-JIT system is, write down in inverted comma, holding cost. Inverted comma close. While the major cost associated with JIT system, while the major cost associated with JIT system is, write down in inverted comma, overtime cost. Overtime cost. तो देखिए इन्हीं के ऊपर लगभग 50% क्वेश्चंस आपके ड्राफ्टेड है कि नॉन जेआईटी सिस्टम में जो कॉस्ट हमारी लगेगी दैट इज रिलेटेड टू होल्डिंग कॉस्ट, एंड जेआईटी सिस्टम में जो हमारी कॉस्ट लगेगी दैट इज रिलेटेड टू ओवरटाइम कॉस्ट. नेक्स्ट सब हेडिंग दीजिए बेटा. स्टोरेज कॉस्ट, दूसरा नाम है इसका होल्डिंग कॉस्ट, इन नॉन जेआईटी सिस्टम. नॉन जेआईटी सिस्टम में आप कैसे होल्डिंग कॉस्ट या स्टोरेज कॉस्ट, वन एंड द सेम थिंग, या इसको कैरिंग कॉस्ट भी बोला जाता है, कैसे निकालेंगे. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, अगर आप होल्डिंग कॉस्ट रॉ मटेरियल के लिए फाइंड आउट कर रहे हो, इफ यू आर फाइंडिंग आउट होल्डिंग कॉस्ट फॉर रॉ मटेरियल, द फॉर्मूला इज ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी divided by 2 into holding cost per unit per annum. HC is holding cost per unit per annum. Order quantity divided by 2 into holding cost per unit per annum. Might be you will be able to recall the logic behind this formula. You have studied this at interlevel in the chapter EOQ and ROQ. Whenever you find the total cost under economic order quantity and reorder quantity, you use the same formula. OQ, order quantity is abbreviation is OQ, divided by 2, multiply by holding cost per unit per annum. The basic idea behind averaging the order quantity is that whatever you have purchased will not remain same throughout the period. It whenever it was purchased, the stock level will go up, and naturally, as and when we consume, the stock level also goes down. So, on average, we incur the holding cost. That's the logic which you have studied at interlevel. And if we are to find out the holding cost, that is storage cost for finished goods, the formula will be opening stock of finished goods plus closing stock of finished goods divided by 2. Always holding cost will be calculated on average. Multiply by holding cost per unit per annum. So in the question, you have to check beta whether you are applying JIT for raw material, that is purchasing, or raw material for production. In case JIT is applied for raw material, it is the formula is order quantity divided by 2 multiplied by holding cost per unit per annum. In case you are applying JIT for manufacturing, then it will be opening stock of finished goods plus closing stock of finished goods divided by 2 multiplied by holding cost per unit per annum. Clear, beta? Chal. Now we can start a question on this point. The question is given on page number 12, illustration number 1. Page number 12, illustration number 1. Can we start? देखिए, let's read out from the requirement part whether we get any idea about the same. Requirement part is, as a chief accountant, you are requested to comment on MD's view. So from the requirement part, we will not be able to identify which concept will be applicable in this particular question, because it's we have to comment on MD's view, and the MD's view will definitely provide us the hint that which concept is to be applicable in this particular question. So the requirement part doesn't tell about the concept that will be applicable in this particular question. So beta, I am giving you complete 5 minutes time. Please have a reading of this particular question, newspaper reading. You don't have to think over it. You don't have to solve any numerical part. Just think over it. Just read out the same, and then we will make an interpretation reading of the same once you completed the newspaper reading. Okay. So I'm giving you complete 5 minutes to have a reading of this particular question. Newspaper reading, we would say, of question number 1. Okay, beta. So let's start the interpretation reading of this question. Company name is KPL. Company manufacture and sell one product called Kia. MD is not happy with its current purchasing and production system. There has been considerable discussion at the corporate level as to use of just-in-time system for Kia. Can you please tell me, beta, through this first para, whether we are applying just-in-time system for purchasing or for manufacturing or both? Please read out and then answer me, because a clear hint is given in this first para that whether we are applying JIT purchasing or JIT production system or both. Okay, I'm waiting for your answer. Okay, it will be only for production, because the word corporate level F to the GIT system for Kia, and Kia is the finished goods, not the raw material. So company is adopting only and only the JIT manufacturing, not the JIT purchasing. So आप बताइए बेटा, जब हम नॉन JIT में holding cost निकालेंगे, so in non JIT we will not use this formula since this company has applied the JIT not the JIT purchasing but the JIT production. तो जो भी हमारी होल्डिंग कॉस्ट निकलेगी that will be calculated through this formula. क्लियर है? चलिए, अब MD का व्यू क्या था, ये बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, because on the requirement part we have to comment on MD's view. JIT system is a pull system. Agreed? Yes, JIT system is a pull system which responds to demand, in contrast to a push system in which stock acts as buffer between the different element of stock, purchasing, production and sale. जब कट कॉपी पेस्ट किया है जो JIT की डेफिनेशन है, डेफिनेटली हम एग्री है कि JIT वर्क्स ऑन पुल सिस्टम, not on the push system. Okay, now second statement, by using JIT system it is possible to reduce carrying cost. The other name of carrying cost is holding cost, the other name is storage cost. Do you agree? Yes, we strongly agree to this point that through JIT system we will be able to reduce the carrying cost, that is holding cost, because in JIT system we will purchase only and only when demand accumulates. If there is no demand we will not purchase any stock of raw material, है ना? तो हमें यहाँ पे अब इसको न्यूमेरिकली प्रूव करके देना है कि yes, through JIT system we will reduce our carrying cost, although we will increase one of the cost that is known as overtime cost. So we have to net off the benefit and the cost of JIT, and if it benefit us ultimately, then definitely we will recommend the JIT system. KPL is dependent on contractual labor which has efficiency of 95% for its production. Can you tell me, beta, what is the idle time percentage? Company is dependent on contractual labor which has efficiency of 95% for its production. What is the idle time percentage? A very simple question I have asked. What is the idle time percentage? Efficiency is 95%. Many of the students will say that for idle time is 5%. No way. Efficiency has nothing to do with idle time. Both are totally different. In idle time, there is no work. In idle time, there is no work. While in efficiency, whether the efficiency is more than 100% or less than %, the worker is working. whenever we calculate the efficiency, the worker is working. If efficiency is less than 100%, it means the worker speed is slow. It is not idle. Worker speed is slow. If the efficiency is more than 100%, it means the worker speed is high as compared to the standard. So don't ever link the idle time with the efficiency. Lower efficiency means worker speed is slow, not the worker is not working. Worker speed is slow. If the efficiency is more than 100%, worker speed is fast. Okay, beta. So in this case, we cannot say that the worker is idle. We cannot say that the worker is idle. The worker speed is comparatively slow. So therefore, the labor has to be paid for a minimum of 4,000 hours per month. This word is very important. Minimum of 4,000 hours per month. Whether you are having work for 4,000 hours or not, you have to pay worker for 4,000 hours. But if suppose the worker work for 4,000 hours, they will not provide the output equivalent to 4,000 hours because the efficiency is 95%. So if worker work for 4,000 hours, the maximum output we can get is 3,800 standard hour. 4,000 hours multiplied by 95%. So the important point is worker efficiency is 95% and workers are to be paid minimum 4,000 minimum. Okay, if you make them work extra, you have to pay extra. And in 4,000 hours, if they work for 4,000 hours, they can produce up to 3,800 standard hour, that is output. ये पैरा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बेटा, बहुत ध्यान से पढ़िएगा. दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पैरा. फॉर अवेलिंग सर्विसेज ऑफ लेबर अबाउ 4,000 आवर्स इन अ मंथ, दिस इज द मिनिमम वर्ड. दिस इज नॉट द मैक्सिमम लेबर कैपेसिटी. You are having labor capacity above 4,000 also. उसकी बात कर रहा है. If you want to avail services of labor above 4,000 hours in a month, company has to pay overtime rate, which is 45% premium to the normal hourly rate of 110 per hour. So minimum labor hour pay is 4,000 hours. If you want labor to work more, it's possible, but anything above 4,000 will qualify in overtime working, and overtime premium is 45%. Okay, not only you have to pay 110, but above that you have to pay 45% extra, known as overtime premium. For avoiding this overtime payment, company in its current production and purchase plan utilize full available normal working hour so that the higher inventory level in the month of lower demand would be able to meet sales of month with higher demand level. Company have determined that the cost of holding inventory is 70 per month. So in this para, overtime working is possible above 4,000 hours. The normal rate is 110, while extra payment you have to make over and above the 110 is 45%. So the company, to avoid this overtime payment, have planned that they will utilize full normal available hour so that जिस मंथ में लोअर डिमांड होगी लेकिन हमारा इन्वेंट्री लेवल बढ़ जाएगा, वो कभी दूसरे मंथ में अगर इन्वेंट्री लेवल बढ़ जाता है तो वहां पे हम उसको सेट ऑफ कर सकते हैं. होल्डिंग कॉस्ट इज ₹70 पर मंथ. नाउ वी हैव बीन गिवन द फोरकास्ट फॉर द 6 month, January to June. Can you please tell me 2 months in which there will be overtime working? Can you tell me 2 months in which there will be overtime working? ओवरटाइम वर्किंग कौन कौन से मंथ्स में होगी? Okay, Bhaumik has answered. It's March and June. You have correctly answered March and June. Okay, can you tell me the output which is to be produced in overtime hours in March and June? March and June are the overtime working month. Now tell me what are the output that will be produced in overtime working in the month of March and June. Okay, Rahul beta, no issue beta. In March and June, there will be overtime working. Can you tell me the output that will be produced in overtime working? I'm waiting for your answer, beta. Please revert fast. No, Rashmi beta, that's not the correct answer. I require only the overtime output. Overtime output. It's very simple, beta. The normal output is 3,800 hours, not the 4,000 hours. Okay. Output, I'm talking about the output. That's why I've said multiple time output. So the normal output is 3,800 hour. Out of 4,060 standard hour, that is the output, 360 output is to be worked in overtime. In case of June, the total output is 4830, while the normal output is 3,800. So 4830 minus 3,800 is equal to 1030 output, not the hours. Output is to be required in overtime. Okay. Now tell me, based on this para, whether overtime working is to be done in case of non-JIT system, JIT system, or both. It's 100% clear and crystal. Okay, beta. Full clarity is available in this particular para, whether overtime working is to be done in non-JIT, JIT, or both the system. I'm waiting. This is a very, very important point. I'm waiting for your answer, beta. Whether overtime working is to be done for non-JIT, JIT, or both. In this particular question, there is no fixed rule. Na? In this particular question, whether overtime working is to be done in non-JIT, JIT, or both. Okay, Bhaumik. Bhaumik has answered that in both the system, we will work overtime. Okay. What other students say, beta? Rahul Patel, Aniket, Apala, Rashmi, Dhara Shah, what's your view? Mr. Sudhir. Okay, overtime is to be done in non-JIT as per Apala. Okay, beta. Other student, please reply, beta. Unless and until I got the answer, I will not move further because it's a crucial point of this question. If you gone wrong in this point, na, then no marks will be allotted. Okay, Rashmi has said in non-JIT there has to be overtime working. Okay, beta, please listen very carefully. In all the question, if there is sudden increase in demand beyond the normal capacity, in JIT system, there should always be overtime working in JIT system. While whether there will be overtime in non-JIT system or not, it will depend upon the question detail. In this particular question, there will not be any overtime working in non-JIT system. There will not be any overtime working in non-JIT system because it is clearly mentioned for avoiding this overtime payment. The word is avoiding, not reducing the overtime payment. We will avoid the overtime payment in current production and purchase plan. Okay, here it is said we will utilize full available normal working hour. We will utilize 4,000 hour and produce 3,800. In the month of January, we are having 3,150 hours demand, but still we will produce 3,800 output. In the month of February, we are having a demand of 3,760, but we will utilize full available normal working hour 3,800. The excess production of January and February will be utilized in the month of March because in month of March we will avoid overtime working. In the month of March we will avoid overtime working. And how this can be done through ओवरटाइम वर्किंग हम यहाँ पे अवॉइड कर रहे हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि हमें हमारे पास ऑलरेडी वी आर हैविंग द स्टॉक ऑफ फिनिश गुड्स. द एक्सेस प्रोडक्शन ऑफ जनवरी एंड फेब्रुअरी, द एक्सेस प्रोडक्शन ऑफ January and February we are having, that will be utilized in March. In March, we will produce 3,800 standard hour, while the remaining 260 hour output will be get from the opening stock of March 19. Okay. Similarly, in case of June also, we will get the stock from opening stock. Have a total of all this beta. इन सबका टोटल लगाइए आप, कितना आ रहा है? 3150 से 4830 का टोटल लगाइए. It comes out to 24,000 units, है ना? हर मंथ आप नॉन JIT में 4,000 यूनिट्स बना रहे हैं. So 4,000 into 6, that is 24,000. So ये पूरा डेटा आपका मैच करता है. क्लियर हुआ बेटा? Always in JIT system we will work overtime, no doubt about that. JIT system में, because we will not do overproduction. So whenever sudden increase in demand, we will do that by doing the overtime work. So JIT में तो हमेशा ही overtime आएगा, but in non-JIT we have to check the question detail, question language, and then we will decide whether there will be an overtime working or not. तो ये कंफर्म है बेटा, नॉन JIT में ओवरटाइम वर्किंग नहीं होगा. नॉन JIT में सिर्फ हमारा होल्डिंग कॉस्ट लगेगा, बिकॉज डिमांड अगर कम भी है, इवन देन वी आर यूटिलाइजिंग नॉर्मल वर्किंग आवर फुल, सो दैट 3,800 स्टैंडर्ड आवर आउटपुट कैन बी प्रोड्यूस्ड. ओके. तो यहां पे बोला है कोई भी ओपनिंग स्टॉक नहीं है हमारे पास दिसंबर 18 में, इवन इट इज नॉट कोल्ड, वी विल अज्यूम द सेम. तो देखिए बेटा, अब सबसे पहले वी विल मेक द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ overtime cost in JIT. Overtime cost in JIT कौन कौन से मंथ में है? मार्च एंड जून. आउटपुट की डिमांड कितनी है? 4060 एंड 4830. करेक्ट है. नॉर्मल आउटपुट कितना है? 3,800. सो ओवर टाइम का आउटपुट कितना है? इट्स 260 एंड 1030. नाउ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, overtime hours 260 के आउटपुट के लिए हाउ मच overtime hours are required? Please communicate to me, because if labor work for 4,000 hours, the output is 3,800 hours because the efficiency is 95%. So if 260 output is required in overtime, how many overtime hours worker has to work? Because if worker works for 100 hours, the output will be 95 at an efficiency of 95%. Clear है? बताइए बेटा मुझे आप. How many overtime hours are to be worked by the labor to produce 260-hour output? Okay, very good, Rashmi and Rahul Patel. Your answer are up to the mark, beta. Very good, correct answer hai. It's 274 hours because the ratio is worker अगर 100 hours work करता है 100 hours तो output कितना आता है 95. So 260 is equivalent to 95. So for 100 it will be 274. ठीक है बेटा. और यहां के लिए भी निकालिए आप कितना आ रहा है 274. और अब उसके लिए बताइए मुझे 1084 आवर. ओके, तो यहां पे आ रहा है 1084 आवर्स. टोटल निकाल लीजिए बेटा. टोटल कितने आवर वर्क करना पड़ेगा इसको 851 1358 will be the overtime working, and for every overtime we have to pay the normal rate plus overtime premium of 45%. ये हो जाएगी आपकी overtime cost in JIT system. Clear it out? Very simple calculation. Very simple calculation. Now we have already discussed that to calculate the cost under non-JIT, we have to check whether the question relates to raw material or finished goods. We have already discussed in the first para that this question relates to finished goods. तो हमें यहाँ पे holding cost का formula क्या है? Now, if we have to calculate holding cost for finished goods, the formula is opening stock plus closing stock of finished goods divided by 2 into 70 rupee. यहाँ पे हमें holding cost दिया है. So we have to find out the opening stock and closing stock of every month. That will be multiplied by rupees 70 to find out the holding cost under non-JIT system. तो देखिए बेटा कैसे करना है जरा ध्यान से सीखिए इसको, बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. मंथ month, opening stock, production, sales, closing stock. ओके, हम ये नॉन जीआईटी में निकाल रहे बेटा. जनवरी, फरवरी, मार्च, अप्रैल, मई and June. Can you tell me whether production in every month, please listen my words very carefully beta, whether production in every month will remain same in non-JIT? In this particular question, I am not talking about universally, है ना, I am talking about this particular question. क्या इस particular question में हमारा production हर month में same रहेगा? And if yes, then what is the amount? If no, then जरूरत ही नहीं है बेटा. फिर बताइए बेटा मुझे. And please try to participate beta. It's very very important that you must participate in each and every question. Otherwise it will amount to spoon feeding. आपने सुना, आपने समझ लिया. But if you want to excel, then you must apply your mind. What will be the production? Whether production will be same in each and every month in non-JIT? Yes or no? Yes, it will be same because we will avoid overtime working. It is clearly given and we are utilizing full available normal working hours. So what is the output in each month? 3,800, 3,800, 3,800, Okay, beta. Sales is already given in the question. You don't have to calculate it. The sale is 3150. 3150, 3760, 40, कितना था बेटा ये? 4060, it is 4830, and for April and May it's 3350 and 3650. Okay. Double 350 and 3650. Okay, beta. It is clearly given in, I think, second or third point last से जो दिया है कि opening stock of December is 0, closing stock of December is 0, so opening stock of January is 0. Last month का closing, current month का opening होगा, so we can easily find out. 3800 is the production, sale is 3150, therefore the closing stock is 650. Okay, can you please tell me the average stock of January, whether the average stock of January is 650 or 325? Whether the average stock of January is 650 or 325. यहां पे एक बहुत कॉमन एरर होता है, that's why I'm asking you the question. Okay, it will be 325. A very, very common mistake. यहाँ पे 325 है. 0 will also be considered as a number. 0 plus 650 divided by 2. Opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. है ना? चलिए बढ़े आगे. So it will be 325. If you assume it's at 650 ना, मतलब इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? 1st January को जो आपने प्रोडक्शन किया था, that will remain same throughout the month. That is not at all possible. So closing stock of January will be an opening stock. Closing stock of January will be an opening stock for February. So it will be 650. अब पूरा मुझे आप ऐसे निकाल के बताइए, ये आ गया आपका 690 क्लोजिंग स्टॉक, 650 प्लस 3800, 650 plus 3800, this is goods available for sale, minus 3760, you will get the closing stock of February. इसी प्रकार से मुझे पूरा कंटिन्यू करके बताइए और हर मंथ का मुझे आप क्लोजिंग स्टॉक निकाल के दीजिए. आई एम गिविंग यू 4 to 5 मिनट टू कंप्लीट द सेम बेटा, है ना? आपको ये पूरा कंप्लीट करना है. कंप्लीट कीजिए. हर मंथ का मुझे आप एवरेज स्टॉक बताइए, एवरेज स्टॉक कितना आ रहा है. Please check, dear student, the average for February will be 670. The average for March will be 560, then 655, 955, and the last is 515. Hope each and every student has got the correct answer. So आप यहां से भी चेक कर सकते हैं, आपका जून में जो बैलेंस है that will be 0, है ना? तो अब हमें यहाँ पे क्या करना है, नॉन जीआईटी में वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड द एवरेज स्टॉक. सो अब हम जो भी कैलकुलेशन करेंगे वो एवरेज स्टॉक पे करेंगे. ईदर यू कैन राइट द ओपनिंग स्टॉक प्लस क्लोजिंग स्टॉक डिवाइडेड बाय 2. अल्टीमेटली इट इज नथिंग बट द एवरेज स्टॉक. सो एवरेज स्टॉक मल्टीप्लाई बाय 70 रुपीज. तो अब आप एक काम करें, टोटल लगाए एवरेज स्टॉक का कितना आ रहा है फॉर ऑल द मंथ्स टुगेदर, राइट फ्रॉम 325 to 515. टोटल लगाए हाउ मेनी स्टॉक वी हैव केप्ट इन आवर स्टोर. That will be multiplied by rupees 70 to get the holding cost. ओके बेटा, तो ये आपका होल्डिंग कॉस्ट जो आ रहा है दैट इज 2,57,600 इज योर होल्डिंग कॉस्ट. आप एक काम कर सकते हैं, इंडिविजुअली भी निकाल सकते हैं. हर को 70 से आप मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हैं. 325 इंटू 70, 670 इंटू 70, या टोटल सभी का लेके आप एक साथ मल्टीप्लाई भी कर सकते हैं 70. यू विल गेट द सेम आंसर. क्लियर है? इसी प्रकार से हमारा टोटल ओवर टाइम पेमेंट है 2,16,583. So what you will recommend, beta? Whether the organization should go for JIT system, whether there is a possibility that we will reduce our cost, yes or no? बताइए आप मुझे. Whether we are able to reduce our overall cost, and due to because MDVU is we can reduce our carrying cost as well as other overhead. Whether there is a net benefit to implement the JIT system, yes or no? If yes, tell me the amount by which we are benefited. If no, tell me the amount which we will incur if we implement the JIT system. Whether GIT system is to be implemented, if yes, tell me the net benefit. If it is not to be implemented, tell me the net cost. It's very simple, beta. Yes, definitely we will implement the GIT system because the saving is in the form of holding cost. We will save roughly 2,56,000. And what we are incurring in place of GIT system, we are incurring the overtime cost. But since overtime cost is less than the saving of holding cost, therefore GIT system is recommended. That will save approximately 41,000 per annum if the same pattern of fail continues. Clear है बेटा? तो ये पैटर्न होता है आपका जस्ट इन टाइम सिस्टम का. नाउ आई एम गिविंग यू वन असाइनमेंट. You have to complete that assignment before the next class. Okay. Just a minute. I'm giving you that assignment. It's mandatory for each and every student, beta. If you want to have a strong grip on just-in-time system, then definitely you have to complete this assignment before coming to the next class. It's question number 2. It's question number 2 available in page number 44. You have to complete this question on your own before you will watch the next session on 5th of November. Okay, beta? And please closely watch the schedule of the classes, because on some of the days there will be batch on Sundays also. Already the schedule is uploaded. Please check that carefully, because apart from the Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we are having some lectures on Sunday also. Okay. So question number 2 is compulsory. It's a super question. Undoubtedly, it requires a lot of effort from the student to have understanding of this question. And a request from my side, solve it on your own, beta. Don't solve by looking at the solution part. Even if you are not able to complete it properly, there will be no issue. We will complete this question 100% in the next session. But what is not desirable from you, that once you read out the question, do some work, and then look out the solution part to understand the question. That will not work in the examination, because in the examination, definitely only the question will be given. Solution is not being provided to you. So you have to prepare yourself that there is no solution available right now. I have to proceed. Whether it is correct or not, it doesn't matter. We will check the answer in the next session only. So make a promise to yourself, beta. You will not look at the solution part even when you completed the question number 2. Let's wait for the next session. We will completely read out this question and solve each and every point that is required for the question number 2. Okay, बेटा? चलिए, ठीक है. तो आज के लिए बस अपन इतना ही रखते हैं. Thank you for watching the session. God bless you.